Essequibo belongs to Guyana.
Thank you for joining us on the National Communications Network Incorporated as we bring to you conversations and information related to the Guyana-Venezuela border controversy in response to the December 3 referendum, which is being put forward by the Venezuelan government. Joining me at this time, we have the Honorable Minister of Health, Dr. Frank Antony, as we have a discussion, one of the calendar of events, which is the Circle of Unity. Thank you, Minister, for taking time out to be here and sharing with us on this conversation. Let's start a little bit about the Circle of Unity. Tell us a little bit about that event.
Well, thank you very much for having me. The Circle of Unity, how it's envisaged, we want people to come out in their community and to make a line and to hold hands and basically to portray solidarity. So over the last week or so, we have been talking to a lot of community leaders, church leaders, persons who are activists in communities, and they have been responding quite well. So our estimate is that in every region, we are going to have people coming out and forming these lines, demonstrating solidarity. So we want people to come out, at least assemble by 6:30 a.m. in the morning of the 3rd, and by 7 o'clock, between 7 and 8, we want people to hold hands. In some cases, persons have indicated they want to have a little program where they'll be offering some prayers and then holding hands to show solidarity for Guyana's territorial integrity. We have a number of communities already that have signed up in Regions 1. We have communities in Regions 2. We have at least about 20 areas in Regions 2 where people would be assembling. In Regions 3, we have at least about 30 to 40 areas where people would be assembling. On the East Bank, we have maybe another 30 or so areas. In Georgetown, we have at least 20 different areas where people would be assembling. On the East Coast, we have at least 30 to 40 areas where people would be assembling. In Region 5, again, about 30 areas. In Region 6, similarly, about 40 areas. So all of these is stretching across these different regions. Region 10, we have both in the Linden area and in Kokwani. Region 7 and 8 and 9, a number of villages have indicated that they would be assembling in their villages to demonstrate solidarity. So while people would be doing this on the morning of the 3rd, I think what would have a very big impact is to get people to also take photographs. Take photographs, whichever location you're in, and post them so that the whole country can see what is happening in different areas. And I think by 9 o'clock in the day, if you start seeing those photographs coming up, it would really tell a very positive story. So in the morning, we have the Circle of Unity, and unity is demonstrated by holding hands and standing up together for Guyana. And that's what we want to portray.
Minister, you spoke there about unity and persons holding hands, which is really a profound message at this time. Can we talk a little bit about why it is important for all Guyanese during this time to be together, to stand as one, and exemplify the One Guyana principles that Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali, President of the Cooperative Republic, has been stressing since his assumption into office?
Well, as you know, in 1899, the borders between Guyana and Venezuela, at the time we were British Guyana, and Venezuela, was conclusively settled by an arbitral award. And the treaty that preceded the arbitral award, which was the Treaty of Washington, was quite explicit that whatever came out of the arbitral award would be a full, perfect, and final settlement. And so we have held that position that the 1899 award is the full, perfect and final settlement of our western border. That position was also held by Venezuela for quite some time, from at least the 1899 award until in the 60s. And then they start changing their tune that they feel that there was some conspiracy. For us, our border is very clear. We have no dispute about where that border is located. We have no controversy. The Venezuelans have been instigating and creating a controversy. But Guyana, the borders were settled with Venezuela since 1899. And that is why I think it's important for all Guyanese to use the occasion on the 3rd of December to hold hands to demonstrate solidarity for our country, to show the world that we are united in this, that this land that we call Essequibo is ours. It has been part of Guyana forever, we know this to be Guyana, and it was affirmed from 1899, and nobody should take it from us. And one simple way that we can demonstrate this to the rest of the world is for in the morning for us to come out and do one simple act, and that is to hold hands and form a line across wherever we're located, and to make that line as extensive as possible. And if possible, if we can link villages together, I think that would be a real good show of solidarity for us. I understand that there are a number of groups who are also working to do a chain across the Demerara River on the Demerara Bridge. And so that too would be a good demonstration of what this is all about. In terms of the President's call for one Guyana, Guyana as a country, we might have differing views, but this is an issue where we have no differences. This country is ours, this territory is ours, and we must preserve its integrity. So whatever views we might have and differences we might have, now is not the time. And we have seen that the opposition has joined with the government in signifying this, that this is a time for unity, and all of us must get together. Whatever little differences we have, set that aside so that we can demonstrate unity and solidarity as we work to defend our country's territorial integrity. I think that is extremely important. The President has a bigger vision that he wants to see that this country, if we are going to accelerate development, if we are going to move from where we are as a country and go to a more developed state, then all of us would have to put our shoulders to the wheel to make sure that that happens. If somebody wants to work in this country, there's a job for you. If somebody wants to do something positive, there's opportunities for you. You want to get an education, there's opportunities there. So for you to grow and develop, the government has created opportunities. And basically we want people to just come and take these opportunities and grow and help us to grow and develop our country. That's what the President's call is about. And there's so much opportunity for people now. Everyone who is interested, there are opportunities out there for you. So join us, because we want people to hold hands together. We'll demonstrate that with Venezuela, but we want to hold hands together to develop this country and make it a better place for all of us.
Minister, as a final question to you, I just wanted to ask if there is a special message you want to say to those persons in the Essequibo region who might be feeling worried at this time because of the aggressions from Venezuela.
I don't think people should be worried. We have been in occupancy of this territory for a very long time. We know that, and we must be careful too, because there are lots of Venezuelans who are suffering in Venezuela, who are coming across to Guyana to seek help. We know that because we see a lot of them in the health sector, and we have been giving them help. So people shouldn't be worried. We as a country, we are on the right path. We are a peaceful people. We have taken this matter to the International Court of Justice, having followed a very elaborate and long UN process. We have now taken the matter to the International Court of Justice. And we have every confidence in the case that we have taken to the International Court of Justice that in the end, that Guyana would be vindicated. And so we await this process, and we have subjected ourselves to this process, and we feel at the end of it that Guyana would be vindicated. On the other hand, what we have seen, and the people who should be worried, is Venezuela, because what we have seen is that they're trying desperately to opt out of the judicial process, and we have seen them saying to the International Court that they don't have jurisdiction. The court have subsequently ruled that they do have jurisdiction. And so we'll go to the next stage. I think the referendum that they're planning is to try to give themselves an out, saying that the people would have given them a mandate so that they exit this court process. Because, as you know, one of the 5 questions is to try to get them to exit this process. So they have calculated this, and we have to constantly stay on the right side of the law, which is what we are doing, and therefore our residents have nothing to worry about because we are abiding by the rule of law, international rule of law. We have, across the world, countries have been supporting Guyana's position. Multilateral organizations have been supporting Guyana's position. We have had several statements by various organizations and heads of state that have supported our position. As far as I'm aware, the only country that has supported Venezuela has been Nicaragua. So I think we are in a very strong position, and I would urge our people not to worry, but to give this process a chance to go through the international court and for the matter to be finally resolved.
Minister, just in closing, can you reiterate once again the Circle of Unity and invite our brothers and sisters from across the country to participate in this event?
So on the 3rd of December at 6:30 in the morning, we want you to come out in your various communities, make that line, hold hands, and make a line as long as possible so that we can demonstrate solidarity, we can demonstrate unity, and we can show the world that Guyana is united in defense of its territorial integrity. We want not just 1 and 2 persons to come out. We want thousands of persons to come out. In every village, in every region, this is your chance to come out there and show support for our country. Our country needs you, and we need you to be out there.
Essequibo belongs to Guyana.